My birthday last year was miserable, and so this year I was determined to have a good birthday. I spent my last birthday crying. My birthday this year was the exact opposite. So if you're someone who dislikes your birthday, it tends to bring up loads of rumination or comparison. This is how to actually enjoy your birthday and have a good birthday this year. My birthday this year was amazing. I was very intentional about making it a good day. We're going to start with practical tips and intentions, and then the second part of the video is going to be about why and doing some reflection as to why you don't like your birthday. You need to be very clear about your intentions. So you might be like, well, obviously my intention is to have a good birthday. Try and think about, or if you want to write about this, that can be helpful. Write about what your dream day would be, and there are obviously going to be things outside of our control in terms of you might want to spend your birthday with your family or with your friends, but those friends might live abroad or they might be away, or it might be a work day. There are limitations as to what we could do, but it can be helpful to write what your dream birthday would be. Do you want to travel, stay at home? Do you want to make a meal from scratch, make your favorite meal from scratch, make pizza from scratch or something? Or do you want to go out? Do you want to have takeaway? Either write about this and be specific about it, or you can visualize it. Just sit quietly and think about what your dream birthday would be and how it would go. I was intentional in that I knew I wanted it to be a good day, which is, better than the year before, because the year before I didn't really have any plans for my birthday and things went badly. So even just having good intentions in terms of being I want this to be a positive day. I made a Pinterest board with birthday cakes and flowers, just anything to try and get me in the mood of this being a good day, a day to celebrate, because it is something worth celebrating. But like we're going to talk about, it brings up a lot of other complicated feelings as well. You can plan what you're wearing or what you would like to wear, because it might depend on the weather or whatever, but in an ideal world, what would you like to wear? What makes you feel good? And also reflect on who you want to spend time with. Set your intentions. The next thing is to make a plan and actually follow through with that plan and do something. It doesn't matter if you just plan to have a quiet day by yourself and walk on the beach. You just want to walk down the high street and maybe go in a few charity shops and look around. Doesn't matter if you want to just do something small, like read all day and take a day off from work, and if you can do that, that's great. Read all day or go to a museum if you want to spend the day by yourself. Or if you want to have a big party, a big dinner or lunch or whatever and invite loads of people. Doesn't matter which, but just plan to do something. Obviously, it's a bit easier to follow through with a plan when there are other people. So if you plan a big dinner and then on the day you're I don't really want to go, yeah, you could cancel it. It is your birthday, but that might give you a little bit more encouragement to actually turn up to the thing. Whereas if you just plan I'm going to go to a museum by myself, the day might arrive and you might be well, I'm not really feeling it. That's something to bear in mind. It's not an either or thing. You don't have to be by yourself or at a big party. You could just be I want to see this friend or spend time with this person, go see your parents, go see your siblings. Even if it's just another person. This is what I did. I planned to go to the flower market in London with my sister, and my birthday happened to fall on a Sunday, so I was this is meant to be. We can go to the flower market. Making a plan that involves other people, particularly for your birthday, is good because it helps you to get out of your head, to stay connected, to reconnect with people who are important to you. And on this note, are there people in your city who you've not caught up with for a while? This could be a time you could be hey, do you want to come with me to the flower market? It's my birthday. And because it's your birthday, people might be oh yeah, I'll make more of an effort. Sure, yeah, I'll come along to that. Think about what's important to you, who's important to you, who are you missing, who have you not seen recently, who you would like to see, because your birthday is a great excuse to get back in touch with these people. So just reach out, because people might surprise you. You might be oh, will this person reply? Or they're so busy, they're probably so busy. But they may be yes, no, let's go to the flower market. Caveat to this is that I would say don't make your day hinge on other people. Prepare yourself mentally for people to drop out, and this isn't to be a negative thing, it's just have low expectations so that then when people do show up, you can be great. But if they don't show up, you're not heartbroken. Or if suddenly something comes up and they can't make it, you're not oh no, my day is ruined. If you decide I'm going to go to whatever museum today on my birthday, or I'm going to go to the flower market, if you decide to do that thing, then you do it. Hopefully the people who you asked, hey, are you free? Let's go do this. Hopefully they will come along as well. But if on the day they suddenly can't, your day is not ruined, because you always decided you were going to do that thing. And whether they show up or not, that's sort of irrelevant, right? It's a bonus and it would be great, but you can also do the thing by yourself. So factor that into your plan. The next step is to prepare for the day. So you've set your intentions, you've planned. Now you pick out your outfit. Get really specific with it if it's going to help you. So pick out what jewelry you're going to wear, what perfume you're going to wear, what bag you're going to wear, what shoes you're going to wear, especially if you're going up to London and it's a day out. There are practical considerations as well. You may be oh, I really want to wear these nice shoes, but then you realize, oh, but I'm going to be walking around loads, so I probably can't wear those things. Just make sure that there are no hidden surprises, so that oh yeah, I always knew I was going to wear these trainers or these whatever, and my outfit works with it and it's fine. And it might sound like a silly thing, but it's not. I knew in advance I was going to London and I needed to wear my trainers, so I was I want to pick an outfit that goes with my trainers. It ended up being a really unseasonably hot day, which was actually lovely because we were able to eat lunch outside. It was really sunny, just a beautiful day. But I was like, I'm going to wear this dress that I know will go with the hat that I want to wear, and it will go with the trainers that I want to wear. Just plan out everything. If you're traveling, fill up your car with petrol. Just make sure you're aware of things. So make sure you know how much petrol you have so that you don't suddenly get in the car to drive somewhere on your birthday and you're like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot, right? Again, it's a small thing, but the idea is to eliminate any stress. So look up your train times or your bus times before, double check that everyone is good to go with the plan the day before. Be like, hey, just checking, we're still on for tomorrow. Like, no stress on your birthday. Give yourself plenty of time. This is going to be a good day. I was going up to London, like I said, and I made sure I woke up really early with enough time to have a shower, get dressed, do my makeup nice, just being mindful of everything. I think I laid out all of my things to pack in my bag, so like my water bottle or my book or my headphones. And, you know, things can add up quite quickly if it's a day out. Prepare to have a good day so you can wake up and just be like, it's my birthday, yay, and just be in this like light, fun, playful mood, as opposed to waking up and being like, it's my birthday, oh wait, but I've not organised this thing and I need to book my tickets and I need to do this and blah, blah, blah. No. Prepare. Another thing I did to make sure I was prepared as well was I knew I wanted to make myself a birthday cake, just as a little challenge, because I do like baking. I don't like the washing up that comes with baking, so I don't do it that often. But I was like, I want to try and make myself a Victoria sponge cake and ice it. And I made that the day before because I knew on my birthday, after we got back from London, we had some family coming over for afternoon tea. And I was like, I could potentially ice the cake between getting back from London and family arriving. I could do that, but really that's going to cause a bit more stress and it's easier to just do it the day before. So I prepared and had everything ready so that when we came back from London, and in the end I needed to have a shower because, like I said, it was a boiling hot day, so I had a shower, and then the family arrived like half an hour later and the cake was all done. I didn't even have to think about it. So food wise as well, prepare. The next step is to enjoy the day. Try and be really present and grounded and mindful, and this is going to be easy to do if you did all the steps we've just gone through and you prepared for the day and you planned everything. And I know there are always going to be things that you can't prepare for or can't account for, but as much as possible you can ice your cake or get your food sorted out for the next day so you don't have to cook on your birthday or look up your train times. There could always be things that go wrong, but as much as possible we need to focus on what we can do to make sure that things don't go wrong. Once you've done that, it's a lot easier to enjoy the day because you're like, I know what I'm doing, I know we're going to this place at this time, we need to get back home by this time. It's all just like easy. Another great way to enjoy this day and like keep a good memory of it is to take lots of photos. If you're with other people, you can be like, hey, can you take a photo of me next to this sign holding my birthday cake or holding my flowers that someone bought me? And if you're by yourself, you could always get a disposable camera and ask like a stranger to be like, hey, can you take a picture of me? It's my birthday. Can you take a picture of me with the river in the background? Just taking lots of photos. It helps you in the moment. It helps you to be like, oh yes, this is like a good moment. It's my birthday. I'm happy. And then looking back, it helps you to commemorate that and like solidify your birthday as a good memory this year and be like, yes, this year was a good birthday. So this is a really important step. And it's also just such a small thing, documenting your life. It can help you romanticize your life as well and appreciate the little things, which is what I'm all about. So make sure you do take some photos, even if it's just like a couple, just to be like, oh yes, we went here on this day, or this was my birthday cake this year. And as well, to help with being present, I would say if you do feel overwhelmed or things start to go wrong, you can always take some deep breaths, try and be mindful, take little snapshot moments in your memory. So like a snapshot moment of like you're sitting on the train and you're just watching the people go by, or you're watching the light move through the trees as the train is going, or you're looking at the London skyline or whatever. Just take like these little snapshots, and as well you can then back that up by taking actual photos like we just said. But anything that's going to help you stay in the present, except if anything goes wrong. As well, you can journal when you get home at the end of the day. Journal about your day like extensively. I find a really good way to do this is to write just a bullet list of different memories, like whether you heard like a funny conversation at lunch, or like you had a really nice meal out, you enjoyed like being on the bus and seeing all of the sights, or you were listening to a particular song when you were walking to the station. Write down like bullet points of all these little things that will help you remember this day really clearly. I did this when I went to Poland probably like 10 years ago, but I wrote down all of these very specific moments of like specific songs or conversation topics, or like the way the light looks. Even like it was very snowy, we went in winter, and because of how specific I was in writing this bullet list of like the songs or the sights, because I was so specific in writing all those bullet points down, that trip is very memorable to me, even though it was so long ago, because I have in my travel journal these very specific moments. So that's a really helpful way to like help solidify this good birthday and be like, yes, look at all these specific things that remind me of this day. So that was part 1, practical tips. I hope they have helped you and given you things to reflect on, because I did have a really good birthday this year and I did all of those steps. So I've just then like broken it down for you. And there wasn't really anything that went wrong, thankfully, on my birthday. My train ticket stopped working, so that kind of like held us up, you know, at one of the barriers to get off the tube. But otherwise, everything was fine. That was part 1 in terms of practical tips. And now we're going to do some reflection about why you might hate your birthday or why you might not enjoy your birthday. I'm going to put some questions on the screen of things that immediately came to mind when I started thinking about, why do I not enjoy my birthday? That is maybe one exercise you can do immediately, is to think about what comes to mind when you ask yourself immediately, why don't I like my birthday? Because this is what I've found, but you may be different. And then using that list of things, so I had my list on the screen there, but using this, we can then reflect on it and be like, what do I need to do next year, or what do I need to do this year for my birthday to make sure that I don't hate my next birthday? What can you do? Do you need to move? Do you need to meet new people? Do you need to just do something simple like make an actual plan and stick to it? Right? It doesn't have to be very deep, although oftentimes it can be. Like, these things can go back a long time or can be tied into different things we're struggling with now, whether it's to do with being in a new place or not having the support around you that you need. It can be either superficial, like surface things. It's just like, oh, I need to make a plan, or I need to, you know, chill out more on my birthday, or, you know, do something that I actually enjoy rather than trying to please everyone else. It could be something simple like that, or it could be like way more complicated in terms of dealing with grief or dealing with trauma or dealing with your mental health or chronic illness. And you may be like, I really want to do all these things for my birthday, but I don't know if I'll actually have the energy or be able to on the day. It's all very complicated. Give yourself grace and give yourself space to go through all of these things. If you want to write about them, just get your laptop and start typing, because I find that's the easiest thing to do with these more complicated emotional topics. You can get things out a lot quicker when you're typing than when you're writing by hand, and you may surprise yourself if you just sort of write on autopilot and just write all the things that are coming to mind. When you read back on it, you may be like, oh wow, I knew that this grief was affecting me still, or I knew that I was still dealing with this pain or hurt, but through just unself-consciously writing, it may have brought up some new things, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I have some work to do here. Once you've looked at all that stuff, then you can look at practical things that you can try and put in place for next year, whether it's I need to do a plan, or I need to go out and meet more people, right? I'd love a bigger circle of friends, so I need to, like, in the next year before my next birthday, put in some effort to meet people locally, or to connect with more people online, or reconnect with people. Maybe you need to change jobs so that you can have more time off or more time freedom, or earn more money so you can pay for whatever dream holiday you want to go on your birthday. Maybe you're like, I want to go to Paris for my birthday. No dream is too big. How can you do that? Can you start saving money? Can you book that time off so that you're committed to that? Can you try and book an early flight or an early train so that you're able to go at a cheaper price? We can use the self-reflection to then plan and take active steps, as opposed to just like ruminating or being like, oh, I wish things were different, or I wish, you know, I had more friends, or I wish that I had more money or more time. We can acknowledge those things, but we don't have to dwell on them. I will also say, don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's okay if you're in a phase where you don't have many friends at the moment. It's okay if you want to have a quiet birthday where you don't do anything. Like I did Christmas alone last year with my dog. It was actually really nice, and I'm glad that I had that experience. I don't think I'll do that again this year, but it was a very contemplative, peaceful time. So if you want to do something similar with your birthday, you're just like, no, I just want to chill. But again, you need to then make that an actual plan. Don't just be like, oh, it is what it is, like we'll see. Like when I did Christmas by myself, and I might do a whole separate video about this, I had some kind of structure for the day in terms of I walk the dog at this time. And if you don't have a dog, you could just be like, well, on my birthday, I want to go for an afternoon walk, or I want to get up early, go for a morning walk. Even if you do nothing, like plan to do nothing so that it doesn't feel aimless, or you're not like, oh, what shall I do now? Oh, shall I read this? Or, oh, and then you end up just like scrolling, or like feeling like you've wasted your day. And I don't think that that's necessarily helpful to think about in terms of, oh, I've wasted this time or whatever. But try, if you are going to plan to do nothing, have a plan around what you are actually going to do, like a loose plan that you can change. I also want to say it's hard if your birthday is associated with some kind of anniversary. And then maybe it is nice, like we just talked about, to do something quiet, to do something reflective. Or you might feel like if you have a big party or, you know, dinner with your friends or lunch with your family, that's a nice way to celebrate the anniversary. I think it's helpful to go out in nature. I find that really calming. And it's also helpful to then spend time with people who know you really, really well, because then you won't feel any pressure or any need to explain yourself. They'll understand if you're not feeling great on your birthday, or if you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling overwhelmed or angry. They will get why. They'll be able to support you in that. And some people make a big deal of their birthdays and other people are not fussed. But I do think it is nice to celebrate, because you only get a certain number of them, not to be too morbid, you know, but it is a good day to celebrate. Things are quite dark at the moment, so any excuse to celebrate or to take a day off or to spend time with people you care about, any excuse to do those things, your birthday is a perfect excuse. Then I think it's a good idea to capitalize on that and make a day of it. And you can make some nice memories either with other people. Like I said, I spent my day with my sister and my family, or by yourself. Like I said, at Christmas, I was by myself with my dog. I still have like good memories of that time. So your birthday doesn't have to look a certain way. I know some people like have huge parties, they have huge social circles, they're really extroverted, they post their photos all over social media. But one, you may not have that many friends, or two, you may be like, I don't want to do that. That is not a me thing to do. In which case, don't feel any pressure and don't compare yourself to other people, because it is only social media and you're only seeing one side. And I know we can be aware of that, but it's so easy to forget and to just look at a flat photo of one moment in time and be like, oh, I wish my birthday was like that, or I wish I had friends like that, or whatever. But you don't know the story of any of it, really. You just know that one photo and what that one photo evokes. And I saw this thing, I was trying to find it again. When it was Charlie XCX's birthday, she posted all these photos on Twitter. Someone commented, it was something about stop comparing yourself to third person emotions. Someone was looking basically at this photo that Charlie XCX had posted and was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could be her. This photo, like this moment in time, that looks so cool. I wish I could be her. And someone else was saying, looking on, that is a third person emotion. Like you can never experience that, in terms of you can never be like, oh, I want to experience that one moment in time, because that moment in time is just like people DJing or having fun, right? They're not thinking like, oh, this is the moment. I don't know if I'm explaining this well enough, but hopefully you know what I mean. But someone was like, oh, I wish I could be Charlie XCX. And someone else is like, Charlie XCX is probably looking at that photo being like, oh, that party looks really cool. I wish I could be there, right? Because seeing a thing and experiencing it are very different. Even if it's a photo of an event that you were at, something to think about. Some of these things we compare ourselves to, they don't even exist. Like that moment doesn't exist in the way that it's been captured. Sending you lots of love, and I hope that using all the things that we've talked about in this video, I hope that you are finally able to have a very happy birthday.